Hey, y'all.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here with us tonight. I don't know how many of you will be here because Uncle Joe's given the State of the Union, but you can either watch this later or we'll watch Uncle Joe later, one or the other.
Or maybe even both.
Maybe even both. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. So, of course, welcome to my beautiful people here with me, my beautiful Kate, Dream Detective,
Oh,
and of course, Diana Boles, our very good friend and super duper dreamer, I call her. She's a
yes.
super duper dreamer.
That,
She's got all the dreams going for herself.
Oh,
Yeah. So I just wanted to again remind anybody, I'm trying to bring this in. Last Friday, we were on with our books show that we gave, and we all have decided to do a book club. And it is going to be uh, probably later in the day on a Saturday, once a month. So there isn't any necessity to, worry that it's going to be every week. And the first one that we have will be mostly meet and greet and talk about what we want to talk about, get to know each other, and sort of choose something that we want to read for the next one, which will be in March. So, and it will be on Zoom, right?
I think it's wonderful. I think it really is. It's very cool because we never get to see the chatters. We never get to see the people in the chat.
That's right.
Unless, of course, we invite them on the show. And even sometimes it's a little bit nervous,
Sure.
it's hard to do that. So
Yeah.
to go into a safe Zoom room where everybody can say hi and introduce themselves and,
Yeah.
have a moment of meet and greet, I think is fantastic. It's such a
It
great
is
idea.
It is fantastic. A couple of things that I'm thinking of doing within the next few months. I would like to do what I call a um, open mic night. And I would love it if people would, come on and maybe throw cards or whatever they want to do. If you want to read a poem you wrote or, whatever. So let me know about that. Let me know also if you're interested in joining our book club. And you don't have to come every month. If you can't make it on a certain month, it's not any cost to you. So
Right.
it's all of us just getting together and having a great time. And so just wanted to throw that out there and thank everybody, all my new subscribers in particular. I have, gosh, it blew me away. I had almost 200 new subscribers come on, and I'm very, I know it's, I don't,
Nancy
I didn't even
Pelosi.
almost want to say it because
Yeah.
because I didn't want to jinx it, but it's just really heartwarming. And so I have pulled some names for some people who won some cards, and one of them is here tonight. Samantha's here, and she
Okay.
lives in Tasmania. I think that's so exciting. And so,
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
so we're going all over the world globe here. So it's wonderful. Andrea, I hope you're feeling okay today. I know you had a long day.
Long
So I'm
day.
sending you lots and lots of love. But anybody also that wants to ever come on, and that includes if anybody wants to give a ascended master discussion. Everybody has sort of picked one that is here that I see, but there's so many of them. We need to have that. Hello, Jenny. Much love to you, my dear. Much love to you, and many condolences on your loss. I just want you to know I've been thinking about you a lot. So,
Mhm,
absolutely.
mhm.
So, before we start, Diana's got some really cool things to talk about. I'm going to talk about something that I just found out. Hi, Barbara, and hi, T. Barb. Hi, Juno. Hi, everybody that's here. I want to talk a little bit about because Diana's going to talk about lucid dreaming tonight. And so I found this really wonderful explanation of how to get yourself up and running with lucid dreaming. And so tonight, one of the things that it recommended was to read and think about it all day so that your brain is focused on the goal. So you start in the morning by saying, tonight, I'm going to lucid dream. I can't wait to lucid dream tonight, and prepare yourself for that thing to happen. And focus on your goal. And I love this next one. Do reality checks during the day. This was crazy. Push your finger through your hand. Try to push your finger through the palm of your hand. In a dream, it will happen. it will actually happen. If you try to do it during the day, when you go to your dream at night and you lucid dream,
Okay.
it will go right through the palm of your hand. Have you heard that one, Diana?
No, but I'm gonna
Makes sense.
try it.
Yeah.
Because
Gonna try it.
there is a plan for this evening.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Number 3, turn off all your screens 1 hour before bed. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at your TV. Don't look at your Kindle or whatever else is on there. Try to get yourself, and that's always a good idea if you're trying to relax anyway for the evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one is at bedtime, set an alarm. So you might want to do this on a Saturday night or a day you don't have to really get up, but to awaken you 5 hours earlier or within the next 5 hours. When the alarm goes off, it says, don't open your eyes or move. Stay awake in your mind as your body drifts back to sleep. You'll have sleep paralysis, it says. Think about lucid dreaming and focus on the dream you want to have. And always remember that the past cannot be changed. Opinions don't define your reality. Everyone's journey is different. Until you heal, it will hold you hostage. Judgments are a confession of character. Overthinking will lead to sadness, and happiness is found within. Bring those really good ideas and thoughts, and that you're going to remember what happened to yourself. I've not been able to do this yet, but I know that Diana has, and actually I know Kate has as well. So,
hey, I was going to ask, does it have to be an alarm, or can it be the cat jumping on you?
That works.
Can you get the cat to do that within 5 hours?
Oh my gosh, she does it every night within 5 hours. And sometimes they rotate between the two cats. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you get really a double dose.
Double dose.
Yep. And you're not alone, Samantha. Most of us wake up between 3 and 4, or 2:30 and 4:30. A lot of us have to pee then, but it is the witching hour, and so we do wake up whether we want to or not. So
and also the angel's hour. It's called both.
Right.
Known as both.
Because
we're all floating at that time.
We're all floating around. It's always 3 or 4 a.m. somewhere. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny.
Yep. So that's all I had to say about that. I'll open it up to you ladies at this point. I've done a lot of talking today, so I'm ready to listen.
Go ahead, Diana.
Geminis are not opening their mouths. Have you?
Go ahead, Diana. Share what you got.
Okay. I would like to start with Jenny, because this is something that's been the most recent. Those of you who know Jenny, her husband's been ill for quite some time. And time was progressing and matters had taken their course and was becoming worse. And I kept haunting her to see how things were going, and was keeping track of her astrology chart and Phil's astrology as well, because by doing their combined charts, I was able to see the similarities in them, how she is going to be affected during certain times, how he's affected during certain times. And the illness and this whole pattern has been showing up in both of their charts, but especially Jenny's, since we did the astrology class back in April of 2022. Now, during the end of the year and the eclipses during the end of the year were checkout points for Phil. But it also showed up in Jenny's chart as to how she was going to be affected by this, because they were opposite. There was aspects that were opposite each other that, of course, created influence upon each other. So by keeping track of her, that meant long phone conversations, because she and I both love to talk. So on the 17th of January, in the evening, I was on the phone with her. And it's like even the hospice nurse was, how come he hasn't passed yet? He should have passed by now. He's so sick. He needs to relax and know that it's okay for him to go and cross over. So after we got done with the conversation, and it was in the charts that, the time is coming, it's coming soon. So when we got finished with the conversation, I sat down doing some meditation, pulling some cards on her, but also I pulled out my dowsing rods, my coppers, as I call them. And I started asking, is he going to pass? Of course, I got kissing right away. Not a problem. So the next question I asked was, is it going to be soon? Yes. Then the next question I asked was, will it be tonight? And they stayed like this. Well, this was the 17th, I believe. So I went day by day and it moved a little closer for the next day and a little closer for the next day. I said the 19th and it got a little closer. I said the 20th and they went parallel on the 20th. Then I said the 21st and they moved closer. I asked about the 22nd and they moved closer still. When I said the 23rd, they kissed. Now that kiss is a definite yes. When they're parallel, it's still a yes, but it's not a time frame, right? I mean, it's soon. That's all it means. But when there's a kiss, it's intimate, it's close, it's a yes, like getting an ace of swords. So it's January, and I'm asking these dates for the month of January because it's January, and everybody knows he's ready to go. Well, the time came, and on the 22nd, he was comatose for 24 hours and then snapped out of it on the 23rd. So I just had, I get this ringing in my ear, which was always a prompt for me to check in with her. They are like sacristy bells. If you've ever been in a church, Lutherans use them. It's not just a Catholic on the altar, but these are the altar bells at the time of the changing of the bread and wine, and at other times to mark when you're supposed to kneel in adoration, etc. So I was triggered by the sound of these bells to continue to keep checking in with her as all this time was going by. So on the 17th of January, of course, they were ringing. And then they became frantic. And once they're frantic, I know that means it's going to happen very soon. And so I'm not thinking of the date. On February 2nd, 2/2, I texted her and said, how are you? And she said, it's going to be soon. It's a real death rattle now. Now, if you don't know what the death rattle is, it's the way the person who's about to pass is breathing. And around 11:30, 11:45, I went upstairs, and it takes me about an hour to make myself look 30 years younger and brush my teeth. And so by the time I had gotten finished, I went and laid down in bed, and my ear is just ringing like crazy. And it's the sacristy bells. And I did my blessing, lay down in bed, and got ready for some lucid dreaming. Now, I just left it an open field. I didn't have anything specific except to say to keep me safe and to keep us protected. And then I did the blessing, etc. And shortly thereafter, I went into this lucid dream. And what I had seen was this. A man dressed in a suit, a business suit, except for his right leg, barefoot and a bare leg. But the suit jacket itself covered everything, right? Now, if you're in a hospice situation, when a person is getting ready to pass over, clothing is not necessary. There's usually a diaper and maybe a sheet to throw over to keep the chill off. And I took this to mean, well, at the moment, I didn't think of it that way, of course, because what I see is for him to start rising. So this body starts rising. And of course, in the dream, I'm not aware that it's Phil. And I see this beautiful lilac colored, it was more like smoke because it had gray and it was thick and it was billowing, just billowing. But the body continued to rise. And the next thing, I see myself at this intersection in Virginia. It's an intersection that has Chantilly High School and Main Library, and then, meridians. And on the high school side is this smoke coming and rising. And this guy with this bare pant leg is in this smoke and he's rising. And over by the library, there's a little black dog, and it's not my Grizzly. I'm looking at him going, Grizzly. And he's like, and he's chasing after this guy going up in the smoke, right? Well, the smoke is this lilac color, but lilac is a purple. And the gray in the shadows was there as well. And the color of the school colors for Chantilly High School is purple and gray. Well, Phil was born in Arlington, Virginia. He grew up in Arlington, Virginia. Ginny, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But youth league and all high school sports between Arlington and Chantilly is a big deal because they're two different athletic areas, but then they start vying for, we take county, then we take state, then we go to the nationals, then we take north and south, blah, blah, blah. Whether even the youth leagues do that. And so even if he didn't play any sports, this was his telling me, this is me. This is Phil. I'm in Virginia. I'm saying goodbye to all my old cronies in Virginia. So at 1:06 in the morning, a text comes through, snaps me out of this lucid moment, and it's from Jenny. He's gone. And so I know for a fact that this was all about him, and this was him because of the Virginia, because of seeing that intersection. That was so that I could identify the fact that this is him. It's in Virginia. I know Chantilly and I know Arlington. He would have known Chantilly even if it was really country back in his teenage years. Even if it was just a place to head out and go drink in the woods, not letting anybody else know, getting caught by mine. And when I thought about this bare leg, I took that as a sign that was his one foot still on earth. He still had to go make the rounds. He had to go talk to everybody else before he could finish ascending. He still probably is lingering around his wife, Jenny. I've heard a couple of chuckles here and there. I've had a couple of pokes that I thought were him. And when there was a hand on my shoulder, I just patted it. I felt that was him as well. And that all happened right afterwards.
Wow.
So when the picture, the next day, the news also broke about this huge train wreck. And a photograph was shown. I don't know if everybody else has seen this or not, but there were these trees, the silhouette of the earth and, the trunks of the trees coming out was very dark. And of course, it was red flames and smoke behind. But when I looked at it, I went, my God, that's really familiar. So I flipped the picture upside down, and it was the same thing I saw in the purple smoke for him ascending, yet for the photo for the train wreck, it was flames ascending and it was red. So was that also another little hit on what was going on in Pennsylvania, Ohio border in East Palestine?
Yep.
So
Couple things.
Jenny?
I mean, it's just, I know that was beautifully expressed, and I know that is a lot to talk about. Couple of things, though. My first reaction as I'm listening to you to talk about this and how he was so bad off in January and waited and waited and waited. I really do believe there is some belief that we can sort of hang on until we're ready to go. And I think that's what my son-in-law's mother is doing. She wanted to wait till he left before she passed. And I don't know if she has yet or not, but she was so bad off. And that's just a different culture and the way that culture works. But my other question is it possible that Phil didn't pass earlier because we're not supposed to know when each other pass?
I think he knew that Ginny had needs that had to be met.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think they were for her personal
Personal
situation,
reasons.
just to make things
Okay.
easier for her
For her.
afterward.
Yeah.
And I really believe that because the soul can do that.
Sure.
And we've all been in situations where we've watched people pass.
Yeah.
And have taken care of them like that till the end. So
Of course. Yeah.
There are things you can just tell. No, it's like you have to give him permission. It's okay. I'm okay now.
Right,
okay.
right. I do get that part of it. But the fact that you were able to tap into all of this as a form of lucid dreaming and were able to provide comfort as well to Jenny and also to get some validation as that you were making contact with them gives this whole dream interpretation a whole new avenue of
it does. And I'm getting such chills right now because I've had lots of validation for my abilities, but
yes.
this was a validation
Oh,
above
yeah.
and beyond.
Sure.
So he didn't want to leave that party.
Thanks for sharing that, Jenny. That my brother did the same thing. He was I didn't know this, but people were traipsing through his house that were from the VFW and all the buddies he had when he was doing his stuff with the VFW and the veterans. And it was a party that he didn't want to miss. And so I get it totally. Thank you for sharing that, Jenny. I know this is a hard time, but it really is so heartwarming in a lot of ways at the same time.
Very validating, right?
Very
We are so connected, even though we can't see it. We are so connected, and in our dream state allows us to actually see it as it's taking place. So there you go. That's okay. I wanted to ask you something, Diana, because I've had dreams where I didn't know what to call it, but it wasn't smoke. I would have called it like a vapor or a colored flame or a
this was so thick it couldn't. Right. It didn't qualify. It was thick.
Okay.
It was thick. It was like, I think the signal in that for him, to me, was thick as thieves with these guys. I got to go see them. And Vienna is like, oh, that's closer to CYA. So, if you, Vienna's in between the two, between Braddock Road group, and then Vienna's closer to the Chantilly side of town.
Yeah.
I don't know how Chantilly got to have its own.
It's so lovely to connect that way, and for Jenny to understand that connection that you have with Jenny, and as well as with her husband, because it does continue. Life continues, and to know that you can feel that continuation, that you can sense it, that you're around it, that you can have it in your dreams, that it can be with you, and is such a comforting, amazing thing. The journey that we're on is so more expansive and so more magnificent than we give it credit for. Because if we just say, yes, I'm going to go, I will meet you there. Let's go skiing. No, I'm kidding. That's your other piece that we wanted to share. But there is so much more to spirit, and experiencing spirit, even in this body. Okay. So I'm so grateful for you, Diane, that you shared that with us, because it is so awesome to be able to understand and have it be validated as well.
Absolutely. So it just brings me to mind also of this, something I heard a while ago that just makes more sense even now. The closest we ever come to death is dreaming. You're in that altered state, basically. And I always thought of that being kind of a strange comment, but really, you're not conscious. And so it makes more sense to me.
Well, you were joining in the ethers.
The ethers.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And how did Plato put it?
Plato?
Right there with the
Don't get me started.
Shoulda.
I know. The shroud, shoulda.
Plate, not the dinner plate the chili was on. But when they called it the ether, however you want to say it, I always say ether because it's AE. The ethers, it's like, you can do it for 10 seconds while you're sitting at a stoplight. You can get so practiced at it that you can phase out and phase back in, because your brain, something up here is still cognizant of what's going on out there. But the inner you is out there ahead of things.
Yes.
The predictive you. That's not even the right word for it. It's not the predictive you. It's there's probably a word out there. I just don't know what it is.
Okay.
So go ahead, Kate.
When my daughters were first being born, I had a lot of people that were around me that were, psychic readers. One read my firstborn Francesca and told me what she was going to be like. They wouldn't tell me the sex, but they could read her energy. They could talk to her, even though she was still in my stomach. Okay. So I hadn't given birth yet. And they were having conversations with my daughter. I found it really fascinating, all of the different validations that after my girls were born, how many of them were actually true. They were actually spot on. And in the course of having those conversations, someone mentioned to me that the reason for that even babies will dream and astral travel. Okay. Even they are coming from a place that is new, that, they're in a new place. And so at night, or when they're dreaming, they're back to where they were. And that the only explanation that they could figure out for the SIDS babies, the ones that they don't have an explanation for them crossing, is because they couldn't find their way back. They were having too much fun on the other side and they couldn't find their way back. And there's myth stories about That's why you have a nightlight next to a baby's bed, because you always want the baby to know where to come back to.
There you
Um,
go.
And in some ways, it was so gentle and so sweet. For when there aren't answers, that's where I think some of these answers that come from sources that maybe aren't mainstream make the most sense. I think it makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Speaking of babies, I feel the same way about watching my dogs when they dream, because they make little woofy noises and their feet are always moving, Yeah, they're like
The little
walking.
flutter thing. Yeah. I know what you're
And
talking
so,
about.
yeah, so you just
mine are
know-
galloping.
I know. Well, there you go. You got a bigger ones. Mine are a little bit smaller, but it just shows that all
Even
creatures
the 10
have
pounder,
dreams.
because he's got to get faster than Gloria, so he's got to.
My big one snores. And there are days where we'll look over it and go, do you think we should get a kitty CPAP machine for her?
Really, I need that too. I've got a dog that does that too. Yes,
Big snoring.
So, when we first decided to do this show, when we decided, this was, I'm glad that you shared that. That was very important for you to share that. And thank you, Jenny, for allowing Diana to share that with us as well, because that is a very personal thing. But we were talking about how fabulous Diana's drawings were, because when we were in a dream class, she would come in and she'd have this notebook with all these beautiful drawings of everything that she
incredible.
saw.
Yeah.
And I know it just goes on and on. I think of the one that I there was a murder that somebody brought up in one of our dream classes, and you went to the house where the guy was murdered, and you were able to figure out who did it, which I remember.
Yes.
And that just absolutely blew my mind. But I wanted you to be able, and not all of us are that classy with their drawings.
Well, I can pull that
person.
one up. Hold on.
But I know too that you and Kate had an adventure where you both made a plan to meet somewhere, and so that's a lucid dream. And so
Absolutely. Well,
it had been a really hard week. I think that there was we'd just both been through a lot that week. It was tough, and we were like, you know what, we need to go play. Let's go on vacation. Let's plan a place where we meet up in our dreams, and let's just go have a blast. You want to go have a blast? And she was like, yeah, let's go have a blast.
So we went skiing.
Yeah.
We went skiing.
Yeah,
And
we went
so
skiing.
we were having a blast, right? And then where's the bar? We were standing at the bar. Maybe I drew the bar first.
The drinking bar or the tea bar?
Oh,
Which was it?
Oh, no. You see the fireplace? We were having a ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't draw the picture where we're dancing on the tabletops, but that's okay.
Well, yeah. Actually, I think it did.
You did.
Stuff keeps falling out of here.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
I woke up with
something like this, because
yeah,
we were losing it, and people
were about ready to throw it out.
And the two of you could confirm to each other that is what you were doing.
I wish I had printed up my drawings, because they're almost the same drawings.
Oh wow! So you were able to do some drawing.
Mine are more cartoon. Mine are more cartoon looking, but and I had us going up on the ski lift, and laughing, and we were just laughing.
And I was coming down the slope.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
That's
and it was so interesting to see the two drawings, that were reflecting the same thing.
Yes.
The very next day. It was, and I got to tell you, I woke up with such a smile on my face, and I was refreshed from whatever had gone on that week, whatever it was that had been pulling me down. I woke up going, okay, I can do it now. I'm back in my rhythm. I've had some fun coming back from vacation, and I'm ready to go. It was so good. Wasn't it good, Diana?
It was great. It was fabulous. It was.
It was
And
so
So
good.
if you could find a dream buddy, then you never know. You might be able to remember your dreams even more.
Even more.
Exactly. Because you have it's a meetup. You meet up in the dream, and sometimes you just because I've had dreams where you're waving across the Great Divide at each other and never really speak to each other, but you're there together.
Right.
And you're getting one bird's eye view and another bird's eye view, and then you come together over that.
Yeah.
So also, Kate I think you asked me something about what I could get about your dad, and we had a conversation, and then that night I had a dream. And this was not a programmed dream between you and I, but somehow Spirit sent me all these messages. And then I can remember talking to you saying, I don't know if this was what this was about, but remember I saw the Maltese cross and didn't understand why I'd seen it. Well, her dad's from Malta, right?
Well,
and then I saw the ceiling tiles, fancy, like the Victorian era ceiling tiles that they were doing right when they could start punching tin and making it fancy. They would put up those tin tiles. And then I just felt it was like extremely hot. And I have this heat lamp. It's not even a heat lamp. It's a pointed lamp, like the old desk lamps that you just high intense heat comes because of the light bulb, right?
Right.
Well, this lamp showed up in the dream, and all of these writings are certainly about what I was trying to figure out here, right? But why the hot? Why the hot? Well, it was in the desert. He was in a hot place. And then I, saw like tapestries hanging, and I saw a house that was, very pauper ridden. And this little boy was just sitting by himself almost all the time. And I got that impression, and that's basically what all the words are about. But what she confirmed was that was her dad in his isolated childhood, right? And not knowing who his parents were, right?
Well, he knew who his parents were, but the looking at the picture now, the hanging carpets, the carpets that are hanging on the side, the being sent away from the house, and the line running between the two of them. There were two lanes of water running through. One was clean water, one was dirty water. So the lines that are running through there remind me of what he used to talk about with the water running along the side of the walkway, the road. But he was Persian. He wasn't Maltese, but he was a healer. And so we have the Knights of Templar being healers.
Oh,
right?
there you go. That
was what it was. Yeah.
And these were flowing like Indian cotton tapestries.
It's okay, because they used to sleep on the Persian carpets, and so most of the time they slept on the roof with the carpets up on top. But that is how they would have done laundry. That is how they would have done, the care for the home. My dad actually had his father was married and then later fell in love and went to the king and asked if he could marry this second woman that he was in love with. So he sent the first wife out on a trip, and when she came back, there was a second wife in the house that was now his wife as well. So he had two wives at the same time, and one that he was in love with, and one that was an arranged marriage. And the children from the in love couple react and are very different than the children from the arranged marriage, because it was stern, it was cold, there wasn't any love there. And so the woman that had the children with the love there, come up and kiss on either side of the cheek and rub, squeeze your arm and, oh, look at this, and or just lovey touchy, very generous and very open with their emotions. When I asked my dad how he felt about having two moms, because there really were two moms in the house, he said, well, at first it was kind of strange, but then they became best friends. And these women bonded as far as having all these children around with them and shared the household, and and it was the way of life. But he had to get permission from the king, and he did. So he said yes. So I mean,
So it's the
craziness.
first sisters' wives, really? Yes. Yeah.
This, I don't know many stories. He didn't share many of it, and we
Sure.
didn't speak the language, so it was difficult to really connect with cousins or uncles or any,
Sure.
figure out what was going on. But the drawings are very accurate to my dad, to circumstances around my dad.
Right.
So, and I know you asked me for a picture to send to you, and I have been looking through packed boxes to try and figure out where the photos are, Diane. I'm sorry. They're around there somewhere. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The story that you're telling me about Grandpa. I have a friend in Virginia who wrote a lovely book about exactly the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
But
Really?
it's her mother who is the girl in love.
Oh.
And marries this other guy who had to get permission from the king.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't that be so weird? Except that I know that the two women didn't live together. But wouldn't that be so weird?
Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's so much of my father's life that I have no idea about because he didn't teach us that language. And so because when the people from that life came and visited, I couldn't understand any of what it was. So
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. Amazing.
and oh well, never mind. That's a different case.
That's
a different story. But
yeah, I do love the meetup dreams. That's all I was going to say. I do love the meetup dreams.
Right. Because didn't we go to Paris one time too?
Yes, we did.
Ooh.
Yes, we did. Ooh la la.
Cotton ball buttons that you could eat.
And I was picking up marshmallows.
I don't know where that picture is in this book.
Yeah. That was pretty wonderful too.
If nobody
So I have a question for you, ladies. And if anybody has a dream they'd like to share, we still have a little bit of time left here. So please post.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, T. Bob. Yes, you're right. I did. I remember I have a lot of dreams that there's a person in my dream that I know is this person. Like I know it's my ex, let's say, but it doesn't look like my ex, but it was my ex. And I'm just guessing that might be past life, maybe, or something. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think it could be the way you saw him when you met him.
It's possible, but it's
he's so much better looking than he really was, or his personality is so stunning till you met him.
Okay, yeah, no, but this is like the totally different person. This is to me, it's like, but I was married to, and I'm thinking of this person as being my husband, but he wasn't, he was. It's like he's wearing a mask or something,
That does make perfect sense that this would have been the past life that you had shared together, which, is part of your soul contract when you come back over and over. Yeah. And like it's a role reversal sometimes, now I'm the mom and you're the child.
Right. Or I'm the woman and you're the man. And last time, I get it. Okay.
You guys sound like you're giving the plot away to Dead Again. It's a wonderful movie. It is. I remember watching it. Yeah. It's got Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson and Robin Williams and Andy Garcia. Yeah, oh my gosh, a huge cast.
Such a colorful.
Beautiful. But the other thing that I was thinking, Aley, as you were saying it, was maybe it's the universe reminding you that across the board, people have similar characteristics. People have similar journeys. They have similar things that they have to do so that we can recognize it in someone else that, oh, I know whatever that is, major arcana card is.
Criteria or whatever.
I can see you acting out that. Or archetype. Okay. So maybe you have in your deck, in your symbols, you have an architect that is ex-husband. Right? That says but that you can recognize in other people, that you can see in other people. You can go, oh, I know what that is. That's this type of behavior that, personal, whatever that was, but it could be with someone in a relationship that you know of, a friend, a person, where you're sensing that element is in their lives as well. And so you're being shown it in a different form so that it can relate today with.
Since I was a different person then, they could have been a different, like you earlier said, they could have been a different person then too. So you never really saw the person
for who they
that
really
you
were.
thought you saw. And in a way, it isn't a younger version of it, but it's an alternative version of it. In that, if you could have peeled away some of the onion layers that you would have seen.
Sometimes you get that feeling like, I know you, but you don't.
Right.
That is that moment of soul recognition.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that conversation came up this week when someone that I was talking to was having a really difficult time with someone else, and they were deciding that they didn't want to have the friendship anymore, and they didn't understand it. And you know, it reminded me of when you take a magnet that snaps together, and it works when it snaps together, but you flip one of those around and you got this tension. You have this tension that doesn't want to vibe anymore. It doesn't want to come together. It doesn't want to work together. And I think that there are often times that we can have friendships for a really long time, but then our energy changes. Our energy changes and it becomes a different vibration. It becomes a different frequency that is no longer jiving with that one. It's nobody's fault. It's not like something that you can even control, except that it makes it really uncomfortable between the two people.
It's very possible.
And it's so hard. You know, it's so hard when friends are here one day and then they're not. And when the new ones come back, it's awesome. So
I know.
It's awesome.
Oh, so Rhonda Q, thank you for giving us a dream to look at this evening. Her dream was she approached her ex's home and he was digging up his driveway. I told him I was back and he said he was back. That's not going to happen. What's this all about? Ooh, digging up the dirt.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh, that's so cute. What are you burying in the driveway? Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Or digging up the jewels you hid from me to begin with.
We got a movie plot going, ladies. We got a movie plot going.
Wow, Rhonda.
What do you
So
think,
I'm
Aley?
guessing that you say, that's not going to happen. So you're totally adverse to this. But I wonder what you were back for. Because you saw him and he was digging up his driveway and you said, I'm back. So maybe you, I don't say that you want to go back, but maybe there is some part of you that wishes you could go back and make things different the first time, if that was even possible. I don't know, ladies.
Well, I just love that he had his back to her as he's digging. Is his back to her? And if
he said he was. She said she was back. He said he was back.
Right, I get it. But,
okay.
But in her saying I'm back, it really could be just a checking in on him, just a checking in. Okay. Yeah. Even though relationships don't work sometimes and you need to separate and go your separate ways, there's always that little lingering thing that says, I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing okay.
Or I wonder what they're doing
anymore, but I hope they're doing okay.
Or I wonder what they're doing. Yeah.
And so he said he was back. To me, that I instantly went to the shoveling. So but I don't know, returning a reconnection just from something old that is returning back in an indication that something that was familiar may be returning, something not necessarily a love relationship or a commitment kind of thing, but just something familiar that may be coming back. He has dirty energy.
I love that, honey. My other feeling was a driveway. What do we do in the driveway?
We're changing the road so you can't find it.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
road easier, or it's all dug up. You have to take a detour, get out of here.
Right.
There's work to be
We
done.
park our cars in the driveway. The cars are sort of a semblance of who we are. We tend to think of our car as an extension of
Oh,
ourselves.
God, I better go clean my car.
My husband's car is the worst car I've ever seen. So,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
but
Between the dirt from the dogs and the hiking in the woods all the time.
Oh my goodness.
yep.
We're taking
you
my
know what,
car,
Rhonda?
Diana.
Rhonda, you're the most important analyzer here.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's you that had the dream. So
Mhm.
what that ever means to you means most. But the first thing I did think of was digging up the past, digging up or what's being dug up
Right. And
underneath the surface. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel threatened by his doing that? Did you
Sounds
feel
like
wait, what are you digging up my driveway for? You know?
No, it's his driveway.
his driveway.
And then
Yeah,
he said
but
he was back, and she said that ain't gonna happen. So my feeling is like,
She's
you
moved
know,
on.
talk to the hand. Yeah.
but she was telling him that she's back at the
Right.
house they live together.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Was it the house you lived together, Rhonda? That would be interesting to know.
That's
Yeah.
a good question.
It's a good
Because
question.
unless you two have like whoever got the house, you know. So this is his driveway, she says, though. It's
Okay.
important to remember that it's his driveway.
Mhm.
So if it's
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
Not the house.
No.
I just
Okay.
thought I'd come for a little visit.
Well, and you know, it could have been that she was just passing through. Passing through,
Yeah.
reviewing what
Yeah.
was going on with her life, and saying, "No,
That's right.
I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
I'm back, but I'm just passing through." And he
That's
says,
right.
"Well, I'm back too." And she's like, "Ain't no way."
Nope.
Yeah, not you
Not
and your
gonna
dirty
happen.
old energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
T-Barb, I think he's thinking about her and she's picking up on it. That's very possible, T-Barb.
Mhm.
I agree with that. Yeah, it is very possible. That, or, we can't help what we think, what we dream about either. We might not want to dream about an ex, but we can dream about an ex. So, you agree with T-Barb, Jenny? Okay, well, good. That's very possible. This is could be a psychic, connection. Hi, Beck. Nice to see you. All right. So Samantha says, what are your thoughts on pregnancy dreams? Well,
Dreaming while you're pregnant or dreaming about getting
Being
pregnant?
I would say that it's a new venture, isn't it? It's anything new.
Yeah.
It could be that
Planting
you're pregnant with possibility, right?
Planting the seed.
Yeah. Yeah. You may have a new business. You may have a new, it doesn't have to be a baby, but it's a new idea, and the seed is being planted, and it's very possible that you have something new coming up. I don't know, Kate. What do you think?
Job.
No, I agree with all of that. And it may be even a confirmation that Samantha has the ability to manifest whatever it is that she's looking for. So manifesting something into her world, into her life, that is as precious as a child, that is life force giving. These are all possibilities. Yeah. I remember just waddling along with this.
Well, I think in my case, for instance, if I dreamt about being pregnant, I'd say, hell no, I can't have a baby at 67 years old. So for me, it would be a new venture, a new something or other. But if I was in my 30s, I might think, maybe I should have another baby. I don't know. It just depends on where you are in life as well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Even just retirement, because that's a whole new adventure.
Yeah.
True.
Now you can fill it with all the things you didn't get to do and kept saying, I got to do that someday.
Yeah. Don't want to miss
out. That seed has grown and is ready to
be
birthed.
That's right.
So did you feel happy in the dream? Was it something that felt natural, or was it something that was making you really nervous? Because that also can determine what it is. That's what I said when I woke up. Well,
it's like WTF. Why am I dreaming about that?
Something new, creative, and life-changing, life force, beautiful, new is coming.
It's coming.
It's
It's
coming.
presenting itself. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, they're getting you ready for that.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to think. If I was having one, that's what I would think. That
Mm-hmm.
something finally is gestating. There's either something gestating or a seed is being planted or, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, she said she was happy. She even rubbed her belly. That's cute.
So cute.
T-Barb, what are the naked in high school dreams about as an adult? Yes, spent my dreams in the restroom hiding because I was terrified someone would see. I forgot my. Oh my God. It's a fear. I would say that it's a sort of a fear of being inadequate.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, or being seen?
Being seen.
Yeah, I have these dreams all the time, T-Bar, but mine more are that I'm on the toilet. I'm trying to get rid of something.
Caught in an embarrassing moment.
Yes, caught in an embarrassing situation. Yeah.
And it's an innocence in being bare naked to begin with, right? Children are born that way. We exit the world that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that innocence, it's the fear of somebody catching you being innocent also is coming into play here. So what were the other factors around that? How, being fearful is one thing and hiding because of it. But what happened to prompt it? Is there somebody bullying you that is making this run in fear?
Or are you afraid of being found out? You know how much we want to be accepted. And if we maybe don't feel as though we're acceptable enough, and maybe they'll find out I'm really not what they think I am.
And I need protection, Okay.
No, I'm don't know what that might be.
We said a bunch of stuff.
We did.
Yeah, we did. The thing that came to mind for me is, where are the buddies that she can count on to put something under the door? Or
I just
woke up naked. Okay. So, for me, when I have dreams where I'm behind the microphone in the radio station and I have to play the song that I haven't taken the time to go over there and get it, and it's way over there, and I don't want to have dead air, so I just keep trying to figure out how I can stretch my arm, another 4 feet to grab the right CD. Is it that you were worried that you weren't prepared enough for something, that you weren't ready for something, that it was frightening you because it didn't feel like you?
And maybe she didn't realize this. If she just wakes up naked in school, then maybe at that time when she was having that dream, she didn't realize she had these insecurities. Oh, you were already a married adult when the dream started. Okay. With kids. Okay.
Yeah, with kids. So, it's really up to you, T-Barb, how you want to interpret that.
Yeah, how you see it.
And it's in some ways, if I could go back to high school and redo a couple of things, I might want to do that in a dream. But at the same time, it's a really uncomfortable feeling knowing that you're the odd man out. You're the one that's exposed. You're the one that is most vulnerable, the one that is, being seen, and you're not saying whether or not they're laughing. Maybe they just thought it was normal. I don't know. It of course it's not normal because you're remembering it. So but it is exposure. I just keep feeling like you are supported. You just have to ask. That's what keeps coming into my head. You are supported. There's help available. There are hands that are willing to help you. A coat that's coming your way. All you have to do is ask, and it can come through. So, nobody noticed. Yeah,
nobody noticed.
Nobody know. Yeah. See. Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is
except for you. You did. You did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Well, at least we know they weren't stripping you of your own protective shield.
Right.
That's very true.
She wasn't holding poker cards.
Or taunting you or pointing at you or whatever. Yeah.
So help is available if you're uncomfortable in any situation. Any situation, help is available. All you have to do is ask for it.
Nobody noticed that she's willing to bare her soul to everybody. You know what I'm saying? She's ready
Yeah.
to open up.
Right.
Because in that nudity, it's the same thing. You're opening
Sure.
up. It's an intimacy.
Being
So-
exposed. That's right.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
exposed.
Well, T-Barb, again, we always couch every quote interpretation with the same lesson, which is it is you that really knows the ultimate answer, not us. We just have some ideas that we think about. But dreaming is so personal, and
It
how
is.
we feel and how, you know, what's going on. Nobody can tell us what something means and be, you know, 100% spot on. But yeah.
We just hope that light bulbs go off and that it's all okay. Because we've all had these experiences that were uncomfortable and mysterious, and gosh, why would I be having that dream?
I know.
Well, because it is a message for you.
It
is a message from guides to you. So
absolutely. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, all those, Jenny, all those in the chat with some questions.
Yes.
No, it's fine. You were curious. I think that's and I like what you have to say, Lisa. The pressure of marriage and the kids bringing deeper feelings. Don't you wish you could go back to high school? And even if you were naked, it wouldn't be so bad. I don't know.
Well,
it is very interesting. Yeah. Because we all wanted to grow up so fast, and then we got there and we're like, shit, I just want to go back. Living with my parents. Yeah. At that time I did. I don't now.
Yeah.
No, like I kept saying, don't wish it away, because once you're old,
no. Yeah, I know.
Long time.
It reminds me of Peggy Sue got married, when Peggy Sue is in the future, or the whatever it is, or in the past, and she calls and talks to her grandma, and it makes me just absolutely get so shaken up, because she's calling on the phone and grandma answers the phone, and grandma's been dead for a long time, and she's like, Grandma, is that you? That she didn't appreciate grandma when she was that younger person. She didn't think
the
that.
play Our Town is like that, where she gets to go back. Yeah,
she does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you. Had a really nice time with you ladies. Thank you for sharing your journal and your experience. Of course, Diana, and of course, Kate too. Yours just as much. Next week, we're going to have Juno on, who's going to share a dream with us. I'm looking forward to it. But if you have a dream you'd like to share, send to Kate at thedreamdetectives@gmail.com. Yep. And if we can either mention your name, or we don't have to mention your name if you don't want us to, and we'll see if we can analyze it for you if you don't want to end up typing it up in the chat, because it's harder to do that.
You know what? If you want to give me your phone number, I'll even call, if that makes it easier to, so whatever makes it easy for everyone, to sharing and lifting and making it better.
That's right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks,
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams.
Thank you.